Hillary Clinton humiliated as a traitor and a liar over the Steele dossier because Trump is suing the Steele dossier company in the UK, and he's probably going to win. Welcome to In Exile. This is where the happy people are. I'm Doug TenNapel. Let's get to the news. Well, here's the first announcement of the lawsuit. Trump sues ex-British spy over dossier containing shocking and scandalous claims. Okay, we're going to get to that after this chunk, which is a bit of a, which is take us back to earlier last year when Hillary Clinton got exposed as the source of that Steele dossier. It was illegal for Democrat Party to pay a foreign spy from the UK to invent all this information about Trump, and went through all of our news media. This is where Russia lie came from. So real quick, this is from last year. FEC finds Hillary Clinton campaign and DNC over Trump-Russia dossier research. Washington CNN federal election regulations fined Hillary Clinton's 2016 presidential campaign and the Democrat National Committee earlier this month for not properly disclosing the money they spent on controversial opposition research that led to the infamous Trump-Russia dossier. That's the source. Political candidates and groups are required to publicly disclose their spending to the FCC, and they must explain the purpose of any specific expenditure more than $200. And by the way, this was like $1 million or something like that they paid. The FEC concluded that the Clinton campaign and DNC misreported the money that funded the dossier, masking it as, quote, legal services and, quote, legal and compliance consulting instead of opposition research. See, their plan was always to tell all these lies, have it run through our media before Trump could stop it right before the election. The dossier was compiled by retired British spy Christopher Steele. It contained unverified and salacious allegations about Donald Trump, including claims that his campaign colluded with the Kremlin to win the 2016 election. So that's the source of all the unconfirmed BS. It was always illegal. It was always scummy and just the kind of stuff that Hillary Clinton loves to pull off. Well, now here's Trump suing the Steele dossier company for basically slandering his name. This is London Associated Press. A lawyer for Donald Trump told a London judge Monday the ex-president plans to prove that the shocking and scandalous claims about him in a largely discredited report by a former British spy were false and harmed his reputation. Trump has sued the company founded by Christopher Steele, who created a dossier in 2016 that contained rumors and uncorroborated allegations about Trump that erupted in a political storm just before he was inaugurated. Trump is seeking damages from Orbis Business Elite Intelligence for allegedly violating British data protection laws. Steele's firm. So this is going to be embarrassing to Clinton because of discovery. They're going to go back into all of where this document came from. This will bring back up how embarrassing she is. There could be more specific details leaked about her involvement. It certainly indicts our press and the UK press that all went with this story. Trump, quote, suffered personal and reputational damage and distress. Steele, who once ran the Russia desk for the Secret Intelligence Service, also known as MI6, was paid by Democrats to compile research that included salacious allegations that Russians could potentially blackmail Trump for sexual activity. Trump said the dossier was fake news and a political witch hunt, both of which have been proven true. And then here's the defense. Orbis wants the lawsuit thrown out because it said the report was never meant to be made public and was published by BuzzFeed. So they leaked it out to an American magazine, BuzzFeed, without the permission of Steele or Orbis. It also said the claim was filed too late. So they're not denying that they lied and that it was terrible. They're just saying, hey, you can't go after us for defamation. We didn't do anything, but it got leaked, and they leaked it because they wanted it leaked. Trump has called for Steele to be, quote, extradited, tried, and thrown in jail, unquote, as he calls him a lowlife and, quote, Steele and quote, sleazebag involved in the Russian collusion hoax, who produced a totally phony con job dossier, White said in the court filing. So that all went into the court filing that Trump called him a sleazebag and a lowlife. Quote, until there is such a judgment, I continue to suffer damage and distress as a result of people wrongfully believing that the data in the dossier is accurate, unquote, he said. We're, of course, praying Trump wins this one because these people should not be able to sway an election. This is the actual disinformation. And these lies went all the way through the FBI, and they attempted to stop both Trump campaigns. And it's not going to work this time. Now the people know these people are liars. The FBI are liars. And certainly the Steele dossier, the Steele company, and the Democrat Party are liars. I'm Doug in Exile.